Okay, so I'll call the special meeting of the Albany Public Library Board of Trustees to order. First on the agenda is to adopt the agenda. So,
I'll move to adopt the agenda.
yes, sir, Andrew.
Oh, 2 seconds.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Next on the agenda is public comment.
Miss?
All right, new business, review and approve the check register.
Can I just bring up a couple that Alyssa emailed me about?
Yes, please do.
I saw that.
So Alyssa asked about the two different CDTA checks. One of those checks is for ridership for our staff, and that would be the one, the second one, 7901. So that's ridership, and that program's a little more successful than we thought it would be. So we have to talk about that in 2018, 2019.
It's more expensive than you thought it would be.
Yes. Well, because more people are riding,
That's good.
which is
Still
good.
successful.
Yes. So then the CDTA check, which is 7857, that's fines and fees. So we collect all the money for the Navigator cards, and then we cut them a check every quarter
Yep.
to pay for it. And that program's actually doing really well as well. Again, my English today is just not there. And then the other check was Siena College, which is the check number 7914. That is contracted services. That is our Vista fellow, who is Jillian, who is fantastic, and you've probably seen her at work. She's coordinated the volunteers, and she works at outreach events.
Right. I wanted to go over the big ones with you, just so you'd know. Check 7870 Landmark Flooring. That's the new rugs that are being installed in the offices on the 3rd floor in Washington. Check 7889 DePaula Chevrolet. That is for the new truck. Okay, the check is ready. The truck has not arrived yet, but we have to have the check ready so that we can pay for the truck. Check 7890 Dow Electric. That's for the new offices on the 3rd floor. 7892 Ganem Contracting Corp. That's for the granite stairs repair at Howe. And 7893 West End Ironworks. That's for the new railing at Howe. Those are the major ones.
Going back to the first CDTA, Scott.
Yes.
Is that the one, I think Alyssa brought it up at another meeting, fines and fees, we're gonna have that broken out differently next
We
year?
are. So
Okay.
in Mary and I have met with Chuck. In 2018, when you guys see the P&L sheet, there will be a fines line, and then there will be a fees line.
Okay,
So we'll actually get a better idea. There was an article, the director of the New York Public Library just wrote an article anti-fine, non-fine. And then it's funny because then I read another article that was an ALA that was pro-fine. So it's interesting to see this debate, but I think and I can tell you that it's happening at the Directors Association level as well. It's gotten a little heated. I've stayed out of it. It's gotten a little heated. So that conversation, I think, will be better informed in the future if we know exactly what we're getting for fines and fees. I'd also like to do an analysis, since we are the net loaner of material to the system. I would like to see how much money other libraries, because we only get replacement fees, we don't get fine fees. So if someone borrows something from
Albany.
Colony and it's an Albany item, when that item is late, those fines actually go to the Colony Library, they don't go. So
Is
that's,
that true the other way around?
yes.
Okay.
It is.
No.
So it's, I want to do a cost analysis if we can of that as well. But I think next year we'll have a better idea of what fines actually, how much of fines and fees. Fines aren't, I think we'll see a little bit of bump with some of the stuff we're doing. Navigator card at the end of the month is the only way to get on the bus besides cash. They're going to stop with the tickets. So we're going to see a bump here of that. And also we'll be breaking out rent as well. So we'll see an
Okay.
increase there.
Can I speak to the fines?
Yeah.
We had a wonderful gentleman who his annual holiday goodwill was given to the library in the form of $100 to help pay off fines for patrons.
Oh.
So we went
That's really
through
nice.
and did a random number generator to select the patrons and paid off their late fines, or their late fees, no lost items, so we would still get the record for that. But we were able to assist, I think it was 20 patrons, with an average of about $7 to $8. For the patrons, actually got them under the threshold, so they now can check out items again.
Did they get an email like the
They
reason
didn't get
it's
an
different?
email, but they got, there's a note on their account that says, "Happy
Oh,
holidays,
it'll-
your account has been
So
paid
they
off."
will find out, okay.
And one fantastic idea that I'm going to give credit to the director of the Altamont Public Library, Joe Burke, who's an APL alumni. He came up with a really great idea that I'm hoping that the system looks into, but if they don't, we will, is much like museums get corporate sponsorship that waives, almost every time I go to art and history, it's because it's paid for by M&T or KeyBank. Maybe looking for someone to give us some money and say fines for 2 years are paid for by KeyBank. And then, after that, we'll see how much of a disruption there is. I think that's a fantastic idea. I'd like to see the system try it at a system level. But if there isn't a lot of discussion and it doesn't gain traction, then my hope is that at the end of 18, while we're having this conversation, maybe that's when we reach out to a donor and say, we collect $50,000 in fines a year, you give us $100,000, we can say you're the sponsor of going fine-free at Albany Public Library.
It's a really interesting idea.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant, so I want to, if they don't jump on it, I definitely will.
Cool. All right.
Well, am I accurate in believing that the rugs and some of the other things happening, building maintenance, will actually be paying for themselves because we're investing to get tenants?
Yes.
Okay.
So we look to make about anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 next year from renting out space. And then, of course, the same amount the next year after that if CDTA Cycle re-signs its lease agreement. ACAP, we make about $20,000 a year from, and their lease is for 3 years, so that's $60,000 right now.
Great. Thanks.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I hate to be a crank about this, but every time we buy a vehicle,
This is on New York State contract.
they are on New
It
York
is,
State
it is,
contract.
it is,
Okay,
yeah.
I just didn't.
But
I
that,
didn't
no,
see their,
no problem. But that, this, Dan said DePaula is the New York State vendor now.
Okay,
Yep,
They were just added about 6 months ago.
right.
good.
Yep,
Thank you.
no problem.
So make sure we get state price.
Nope. Yep, you're right. We do too.
Okay. We good? All right. Take a motion to accept the check register.
I'll make a motion.
Andrew, second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And now we have
Public comment.
public comment. Looks like we're all set with that. All right, motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Andrew, all in
Yeah.
favor?
I'll
Aye.
speak at some point.
Thank you.
All right, great.
Good job.
Good job, everybody.